Sunday night smoke. Sunday night smoke. Sunday night smoke podcast. What's up, Sunday night smoke?
He's awesome, by the way. He is fun. You and him would get along famously.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Happy Sunday, everybody. It's your host, Ace World, aka Big Smoke in the building. Welcome to another exciting episode of Sunday Night Smooth Podcast, y'all. Let's get it right away. Let's pull up my esteemed panel of guestesses. T-Roni in the building. What's good, T-Roni? What it do?
Hey,
Mic check
Sunday
1
night
2.
smoke. Yes, I'm good. I'm good. Who else we got today? Who else we got with us?
We're back.
Yes.
Kimmy Kali in the building. What up, Kimmy? What it do, baby?
Hey,
Yeah.
Last but
Oh,
not least,
yes.
Tony D up in this piece. Let's go.
what up?
Rock and rolling, man. Good to see y'all. You know what I'm saying? Happy Sunday. I hope your weekend was good. We're going to wrap it up on a good note. You know what we do on Sunday nights. You know what I'm saying? How y'all been? Everybody goody?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
sure.
How you doing? How you doing?
Chilling like a villain. You know what it
Yeah.
do. You know what I'm saying? As usual, nice and smooth. We back in the house, man. We back in the house with another one. So before we get into anything, of course, we're gonna roll the disclaimers.
hmm
Warning: opinion is ahead. You already know what this means.
Yeah, it's about
You
to be
know what I'm
good.
saying? In the bag for this week, we got shebang, hot apocalypse now. How Freaknik
Wow.
made today's hoes. Okay, let's rock and roll, y'all. You heard? Yeah, this is
Mhm.
gonna be crazy.
Hold up. Did you just say how we made today's hoes?
Yeah. So check it out. This is gonna be a crazy one. This is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a little controversial. For those that are not following social media, T-Roni, we may have talked about this briefly. Um, I guess what's that network? Hulu. The Hulu TV streaming service is allegedly coming out with a Freaknik documentary. Okay. For those that don't know what Freaknik is like back in the 90s for the old heads like me, for the old school Gen X dudes, ladies and gentlemen. It was in Atlanta, you know what I mean? And I guess it began as a Greek festival and it just got very large. So you had like college folks, like niggas that should have been in college, that like high school dropouts, like the local hood niggas, the hustlers, the
Mm,
hoes, the
mm.
strippers. Like it just grew to, you know what I'm saying? It salute to just salute to the culture. You know what I mean? So it got real, it got big. People drive interstate, come all up and down the East Coast. Some people from like Texas, Louisiana. Some people come from Florida, drive up southwards, and some people from the East Coast drive down southwards. Are any of you people familiar with this? I mean, we're Gen X's, so I'm sure you all are familiar with this.
There's a lot of folks from Michigan and in the Detroit, Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti area that was going down there.
Going to represent. Okay, Tony D, what you got? Let's talk about it, man.
I was there in '96.
96. I was there in 95.
Classic
Go
was
ahead.
good. I didn't see a lot of what everybody else saw, but I did see my own share of shit.
What you see?
I saw a lot of shit.
I got there. I was with my cousin, and we was riding downtown. They had a bunch of the exits blocked off in '96. I was like, oh my God, you couldn't go certain places, you couldn't get off on certain roads because they were trying to control the traffic. Okay, cool. We wound up going up to Lenox Mall, spent about an hour sitting in traffic up there, watching everybody cutting up and acting a fool and doing everything. Then we walked around the mall. I forgot what the hell happened afterwards. I think I might have got drunk by then, but it was wild. There was a lot of people. And all jokes aside, everybody was just partying. That's all it really was. It was a party. It was a hangout, pretty much a picnic, a barbecue, all of that. So I didn't really see any negative vibes or see any negatives that might happen, but I can see the potential of it too. Now, as far as how this is going on that Hulu video, the cracks and the jokes have been on social media for 2 weeks. I've been dying.
We're gonna get into that.
Yes. Charlie B outside. What's good?
Charlie B in the building. OG
People should
Classic
be
in the
worried
building.
about
Salute. Happy Sunday, fellas. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, yes.
If you like to jump on the panel, the StreamYard link is in the chat room. Check it out, y'all. I'm gonna actually this right here, right? Because this is like a hot topic right now. It's been like, if you rocking with like me, of course, I'm a YouTuber to an extent, more like a podcaster. I'm a podcaster, but the platform is on YouTube, so I couldn't kind of put myself in that little box as well to an extent. So check it out, right? I've been seeing on YouTube, like this is hot right now on the little YouTube, the TikTok circuit, all of this. So it's controversial.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so right now you have several people trying to stop this documentary from airing right now. Okay. So, yeah, this is kind of crazy. Right. Oh, okay. So it started as a picnic, Spellman and Morris Brown, I think in the 80s. OG Classic says, giving
Yes.
background on it.
Yes.
That's right. Yes.
He says, hey, OG. I'm just running through the chat real quick before I jump into the next stage of this. Okay. Charlie B says, what up, back? All right. So check it out. What we're going to do is I'm going to roll a brief presentation on this. So check it out. This was real interesting. So I was like scanning the YouTube, right? So before I do this, of course, I'm gonna have to air my fair use like that. You know what I'm saying? And I came across this. This is a content creator by the name of Jason Black. It's called The Business.
Okay.
Real gangster, real straightforward. When I grow up, I want to be just like him. And this was really interesting because he gave some commentary. And we're gonna pause in between his commentary to keep it fair use, plausible and usable. But we're going to take a look at some video footage and listen to some of his interesting takes on this. So we're gonna get back and have a good time with it. I'm gonna mute myself, but you guys don't have to be muted. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty. So hang tight for a second and let's rock and roll.
You know what your mama was doing back in 94, because a lot of us do. And for the young females today who got fed that strong and independent garbage from your mama or your grandmama, for the 35-year-old grandmothers, well, we got footage of what you were doing back in the 90s, and now that Hulu has announced that it would like to broadcast it to the universe, a whole bunch of folks are scared today. So we've been talking about FREAKNIK and the fact that there are some people out there, and particularly some women out there, who are scared to death of becoming a bestseller. They're scared to death of becoming a best-selling documentary. So much so to the point that some of them are threatening that should this film see the light of day, that they plan to sue to block its release. It won't work even if they do, but they're already trying to use intimidation tactics. What kind of tactics? According to Black Enterprise magazine, not everyone is on board with the documentary's release. A group of Black women professionals, not Black men, Black women professionals, comprised of one politician, Keisha Lance Bottoms possibly, 3 high-level corporate executives, oh hell, and 1 judge. Well, that rules out Fannie Willis, but I'm just wondering. They have lawyered up and are threatening to sue Hulu in the hopes of stopping the documentary's release, News One reports. One woman, a married mother of 3 who makes over $1 million annually, so much for your money determining your worth, believes the documentary shows her in a, quote, unflattering light, and there are already videos circulating online she doesn't want her children to see. So in other words, she's already seen herself in video. What does this tell you? This tells you that what she is saying is what we've been saying the whole damn time. Her money doesn't determine her value. Her career doesn't determine her value. Her ability to, quote, get the bag on her own doesn't determine her value. Her status and standing among the men determines her value. And she's like, well, let me go ahead and just cash out of my old little hoe days in the streets. Now, I'm just asking some questions. If you are this worried, if you are this scared because of 30-year-old footage, the question I got is, what in the hell were you out there in them streets doing? What exactly were you doing that you're so terrified that folk gonna find out about?
Now, I got to break it up. Now, right, there's going to be more footage coming down. You know what I mean? I'm just pausing it because it's like a 10-minute clip. So I'm just breaking it up into thirds. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now think about it, right? Back in those days, there was no cell phone. Okay.
Right.
No cell phone. But I had a video
So,
camera.
what you looking for, Tony D?
I
I'm
know.
trying to make sure my face ain't covered because I got this big ass fair use under my neck and everything.
Let me take it down. There you
Oh,
go.
okay, my neck was hurting.
Trying to keep you above water right there.
I wanted to see what was going on in them streets.
Recalibrating it, right? Those streets are hot.
There you
So
go.
like, so like I had a video camera back then. A couple of people I know, but it wasn't as, is all over the place with it. Like I said, there was no cell phone, and half of it, and the video cameras were not compact either. They were pretty large size. It wasn't convenient to have it.
I was going hard with a 35 millimeter. I got a still frames. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I got those too, man. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so I mean, I have my own footage that will not be released publicly. But if I would have known, I would have definitely sold it to them. But to make a long story short,
that's funny.
definitely had a great time. So now some people are scared of the footage. Okay. See, because right now we have a cell phone, so everything is out there, and there's no shame. But see, this is a tale of two generations, right?
Right.
Because now the grown version of you will say, "Oh man, I don't want this footage out," right? Because everything you did was not a public display. If you were there, you saw it. If not, that was it, pretty much for the most part. Few
That's
video
true.
cameras here and there, but now everybody has a cell phone and a video camera. Video is everywhere, right? So nowadays, the difference is when you're young, you want to be on the video.
Well, so you thought.
That's the difference. Or so you thought.
So you thought.
Okay. So when you were 20 and you were doing this on the video, you didn't really think about it. You just live in the moment, because a lot of people, because we're young folks and we're wild and we're partying and having a good time, we didn't really think about it. Like, we never thought social media would be released to the public, and the internet would be used by other than the government. That people didn't really realize that the internet was going to be public at some point. Like they was going to give it to the humanoids at some point for us to use. And some of these old videos and VHS tapes have found their way into circulation in 2020 and above. So let's get back into it. Let's listen to this commentary a little bit. A little more. We'll watch a little more footage because it's looped, but it's going to expand in a second. So let's jump back into a little of this footage.
What is it that you were doing that you are so scared to death that your kids are going to see? A little rump shaking? You can't explain that away to the kids and grandkids? I don't think that's what you're worried about. I don't think that's what you're worried about. I think you're worried about something else. I think you worried that there's a bunch of things you was doing and you don't want folks to see any of it because there was a bunch you were doing out there. And I suggest there are a couple of questions that you all might think they're just more recent, but these have always been the issue. Like, for example, some of them niggas you was sitting up there rubbing your butt cheeks on. Are some of them dudes the fellas that you claim were not the baby daddy, and you got this man to take care of those kids for 20 years? You told him that those were his kids, and he been taking care of them for 20 years, and you swear up and down you didn't meet that other fella until 96, 97. But somebody shows some footage that shows, oh, you knew that dude way before 96, 97. You knew him exactly when we thought you did.
Baby girl was spread eagle. I seen the look on your face, Roni.
I'm like, I'm trying to listen to him, but I'm watching this girl, and I'm like, what is she doing? Oh, okay.
Red like jelly.
Yeah.
Let's continue with this beautiful bean footage. Salute Bandana Travels. We having a good time with this.
Bandana Travels was good. It was going down, y'all. If you ain't never been, I'm telling y'all, it was going down there for real.
If you was any you, and you're watching this, smoke may have met your mama.
At FREAKNIK.
You knew him exactly when we thought you did.
There you go, Grandma.
And you don't have a way to explain that away. You ain't got a way to explain that away. That could be an issue. Then again, it could be that the stuff that you gonna try to explain away at FREAKNIK, you were doing it before FREAKNIK, during FREAKNIK, after FREAKNIK. You can't explain any of this away. Maybe there's a whole lot more than you can explain. Maybe there was a whole lot more going on than just some rump shaking. Maybe if they show you in the company of more than one man, it's like, hey, your grandmama, your mama and grandmama and auntie and them, I mean, they was slapping her butt cheeks and everything. She had no problem. She had no problem with random dudes all up on it in the 90s. She's trying to be the deaconess at the church. I mean, take a look at that. She's trying to be the deaconess at the church now. Okay. Okay.
All that he touching up under her and all that.
Oh, man.
Let me know when it's my turn.
We're not even done yet. Go ahead. We're gonna break this down in segments. Go ahead, Tony D. It's your turn now.
I'm gonna save all the women out there, and I'm gonna save all the dudes out there right now. I'm gonna give a bunch of y'all the ultimate disclaimer. They ashamed of how they being seen.
Go ahead.
Honestly, a lot of them were just dressed and dancing. So they weren't necessarily out there freaking. They were just acting like they were freaking. What they don't want to be seen as is somebody out here throwing it all the damn time. But what they worried about is the footage of the ones when they was out there throwing it all over the place with nothing on and letting everybody do what they want to do, including themselves, if you want the real. But we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. Go ahead, Smoke. I don't want to.
And they worried about it, too, because it's cancel culture. This culture is cancel culture.
It's not even so much cancel culture, T-Roney. I want to tell you, a lot of them wanted to sit back and act like they was never like that, and they about to get caught in a lie.
And lose their job.
They mama.
They about to get caught in a lie.
But was it wrong? I mean, because if you were smart, I feel like you could explain it away. Just be like, listen, I was in my 20s. No, you can't. Okay. Let me shut up.
Trying to raise your daughter to not act like this, talking about you was never like this, they would never be seen like this. What the problem is a bunch of people, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is what happens when I don't give a fuck goes wrong. Let's go.
Well, check it out though. Peep this though, right? There's no shame right now in the game because remember, we're gonna, you know what? I'm not even gonna spill the sauce yet. We're gonna slowly roll this out.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it slow because I was.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot.
I'm trying to keep my cool, boy.
There's definitely a lot to unpack with this. So let's continue to roll this out. We got a few more minutes. We're gonna break this down two more times. Break the rest of it down in half, and then we're gonna roll out the second half. Okay, we're gonna break down a few more minutes. Let's rock.
Okay. There's some things we probably cannot explain away.
There's some hoes in this house.
There's some things we cannot
hoes in
explain
this
away.
house.
And I'm asking some questions here tonight because tonight's program is about the mothers and the daughters of Freaknik. Let me ask you all a question before I go any further, because I want us to make sure that we're clear on where we stand here. The young females of the day, somebody will tell them, you need to go to school, get your degree, be strong and independent. You don't want folks telling you what to do and bossing you around like the old days. Take a look at your mama and your grandmama at Freaknik. Does she look like she wasn't strong and independent?
And your aunties and your
Where are all the women, all y'all old hoes who told these young women of today how put upon that you were, quote, back in the old days? How men were telling you what to do back in the old days? You see, they don't want somebody sitting up here showing some footage. I'm talking about big, huge numbers. You can't hide this. This was the norm.
Facts.
See, this is what your grandmama was doing back in them, quote, old days that she's sitting up here railing you about. This is what she was doing while she's telling you she was put upon. Yeah, she was put upon, all right. She had hands put upon by all them dudes she was sitting up here shaking the tail feather for in the middle of the street while she's telling you what wasn't happening. Does she look oppressed to you? Does she look like she was strolling around the kitchen making cookies and waiting for your grandfather to get home?
Hell no, but they couldn't cook.
Is that what you see? That's not what I see. Does it look like she was sitting at home, or was she out with her girls before Instagram thotting was a thing?
He ain't lying though. He ain't lying. He ain't lying at all.
He's doing a little too much now. He's doing a little too much.
Nah, I see what he's saying.
Keeping it real G. He's keeping it gully out here, man.
He was. I see exactly what he's saying.
Keeping it gully, man. Oh man.
Why can't I be a thought and then all of a sudden I feel like I want to change my lifestyle and I praise the Lord now and now I'm saved. So and then later on
the blueprint, but I'm just saying, but don't expect everybody else to buy that. And
but
then
it allows
judgmental in the public. Remember, the public is very judgmental. So for example, because this is allowed by today's society, feminism, liberalism allowed this whole cancel culture and this whole, well, you're gonna be held accountable for what you did before, you know, back what you did. You remember in 5th grade you squeezed my booty in the closet, but now that you're the congressman, I'm gonna Me Too your ass, even though you committed the quote unquote aggression when you were 8 years old. It doesn't matter. We're gonna take you out of office now that you're 58 years old. Remember, you know, it wasn't the men that started this shit. I mean, it's not a battle of the sexes, but the men didn't start this. The women started this. So now that the chickens are coming home to roost, as Malcolm X would say, now everybody's in an uproar. Let's talk about it. Go ahead, T-Money.
I want to say, I know how you feel, and I'm not going to disregard how you feel about the men.
No. It's opinion radio. Everybody gets
the women started, but I feel like the men started it. And because remember, we didn't have to say so. So yeah, the men did start it with the act. The men started it by doing the act. That's how it starts.
Act of what?
That act or whatever. The Me Too. Listen, like I feel like the Me Too movement came primarily
were guilty, of course,
but primarily because of like severe instances where there was sexual intentions, right? So I'm using words politely, okay? So that's how, and then so that, and to equate that to feminism is not fair. You can't equate Me Too movement to feminism.
Okay.
The Me Too movement is a movement that happened because of this. That's the problem with what's going on in the world today. We are using words as daggers.
Okay.
I agree.
We're using them as feminism, woke, like now it's like where Black Lives Matter. Now when we use that term, they diluted it to a point that now it's you have all these dummies that's using it for their instances, for what they want, for their own agenda. And so I agree with you in that. I mean, I don't know the situation, but I'm saying if somebody touched me in my booty back in the days, like I can't Me Too this, right? Like FREAKNIK, because FREAKNIK did happen. There were girls out there allowing guys to touch their booty and
Well, you know what
such
that's
and such.
gonna happen if you go out there. So what happens is this:
Right.
we can't be, and this is the thing where but then it says I still grab asses in the club. Me too. Me.
Don't
The
do that.
opinions of
Bandana
men
Travis,
travel are
please.
not necessarily those of any.
Exactly.
That's my boy.
we love you, Bandana Travis, to be honest.
But check it out, though, right? But remember, at the same time, we can't sugarcoat this, right? Because we know what goes on in the Freaknik. We know that if you
Right.
are in traffic gyrating your booty and there are a dozen men around you, and you see
Yes.
other girls
You're in
gyrating their
traffic.
booties and men are grabbing their booties, what do you think is going to happen to your booty when you decide to do the same thing that the other girls that are doing whose booties are getting grabbed? What are the odds that you're going to get grabbed or touched or assaulted sexually or groped or whatever the word you want to call it? I think that you know that in advance. Do you think that any of these girls that were out there doing this, let's you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. Let's take a look at more of that. Beautiful footage.
Where do you think you learned it from? Where do you think you got it from? Does she look like anyone's telling her what to do, or does she look like the source that you got all of your hoe ways from?
Damn.
Let me tell y'all little Instagram chicks, y'all ain't got nothing on your grandmama.
Nope.
Your grandmama just thinks she got away with it clean. She thinks she got away with it scot-free. That's the only reason she talking as much as she is now. She thinks she got away with it scot-free. They was buck wild out in the middle of the streets, and she thinks she got away with it. She thought after all these decades that she got away.
You might want to clean that one up, bro.
Oh man.
You gonna pause there?
Why you crazy?
How you gonna pause there? I don't want to see that.
Away with it. That's all. She just thought that she got away with it. Then somebody said, hey, you know what?
That don't look like oppression to me.
We're gonna make a film, and all of a sudden she's shaking in her stars in her garter belts.
Garter belt? What is he talking about right now?
She's
I think he's saying that because
Okay.
these girls are like 50 now. Like, you know,
Okay.
because like I was out there, so I'm around that age. So I guess the girls that were there around my age. So like they're a little older now. So I guess he's trying to make a joke about garter belts and equating that to an older.
Okay. Okay.
Trying to have that 20-year-old stomach back.
Wow.
shaking in
you
her
know-
garter belts. To the fellas who know,
Shorty right there. All right, though.
to the fellas who were there, the fellas who know.
Look at this. You expect
If
not
these
to get
young
grabbed
chicks
on doing
today
this?
who think they thotting it up, I mean, just understand where you think this stuff comes from. A lot of y'all are more modest than your granny was. Y'all know where they got it from.
Oh Lord.
You all are really a pale
Good Lord.
imitation. You had to
What
go
is
to a
that
damn
on the
clinic,
end?
and now you
What-
look like
who's-
Bozo the Clown in the butt.
That one.
Your butts look like
The one with
Barnum
the
and
blonde
Bailey.
hairs don't look good.
At least your grandmama
No,
was
that
in
look like
real
a
physical
bad
shape.
BBL.
That's a bad BBL, yes.
Yeah, it looked kind of messy.
Well, put
Okay,
it
so
like
I ain't trying to be
That one
funny.
got
judge it.
cellulite, so I think hers is
fellas
real.
are gonna
Hers got
judge this.
cellulite.
Let's let the fellas judge it. Tony D, you said bad BBL. I say bad BBL,
Yeah.
but great
Bad
for
BBL.
one night.
By the way, at least she had that.
Not
But y'all are just a
long-term.
poor imitation of what grandma was out there doing. To the fellas who know, if I'm telling the truth, that the grandmamas and the mamas back in the 90s They was thotting it up and Instagramming it up before Instagram. If I'm telling the truth, give me the fire emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me.
I'm gonna take that down at this point. I think that's enough. That that kind of demonstrated the point we were trying to make. So what do you think, man? Ladies, gentlemen?
So I'm not trying to be funny though. So they
Let's
got
be
the
funny.
Freaknik
Come on.
videos. Look, they got the Freaknik videos. So I want to know who gonna pull out the hide and go get it videos.
The who?
Pull
The
out.
hide and
Oh,
go get it
Good
videos.
point. Good point. Good point.
The pulley. Wait, say that one more time. I'm lost. The pulley.
The hide and go
Who
get
is
video.
going
It's a
to
game
pull
with some
out
kids.
the hide and go get it videos?
Hide and go
When you
get
would
it.
What
hide
is that? I'm
and
not
go
familiar.
get it, dry humping in the bushes,
Dry humping in the
rubbing
bushes,
and touching on
trees.
folks.
Oh, jeez, Louise. Oh, that's like a game. Oh, because I was lost. I thought that was like some kind of what's the name? Oh, okay, I get it. That's
No,
like a
that's
game.
a game. That was a game.
Oh, okay.
You didn't
Got
ever
it.
play that?
Well, it may have been called something different on the East Coast. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
No, we played it. We played it at Virginia Beach. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it may have been something
Yeah.
like, we just call
Thanks,
that
Tony.
humping in the bushes, I guess.
Oh, I've been around.
Yeah.
I never did that, of course. So don't come with Me Too gang. Never did that. Okay.
I get around.
is that what it was? Like you had this and then you did.
But
It's pretty much dry hump. I mean, you didn't
I
have
ain't do nothing. I'm
just
celibate.
beating up on each other.
I buy a bit, I sell a bit.
Hide and seek, and if you found the girl, y'all got to play.
Hide and freak up north. There you go.
You didn't go beyond what you wasn't supposed to do. So don't nobody out there thinking the kids got all molested and crazy. Nah, there was limits to the shit for real. And
It was
I
a
want
rule.
to shout out Bandana Travels because he was funny when he said the traffic was disrespectful. He was not bullshitting. The traffic down there was bananas.
Oh, for
It
sure.
really was.
Well, that's what enabled all of that to happen because everybody
some
was
of it,
working.
because traffic got backed up and it was all in the place. Matter of fact, I was in Daytona in '99. We had traffic on the bridge. They messed around and damn, they started something over there. I was going to New Orleans, got stuck on I-10. If you ever driven down I-10 between Mississippi and Alabama, going your way to New Orleans around 4 or 5, you're gonna have a traffic jam for about 10 miles. And they almost messed around and had a little freaknik little party there. Somebody turned the music up, the girls jumped on top of the cars. We were like, here we go. Everybody got up there, had the cameras up. It's really, and ladies and gentlemen, all you can know this, let me tell y'all the truth. This was really just a party. It really was just a party, but it got freaky. Let's just be clear. If you think Freaknik was bad, you better ask your parents about them barbecues they used to have as well.
Well, I'm just saying.
What
staying
about
on
Girls
topic.
Gone Wild? Right?
I'm just saying, staying on topic, right?
I'm going
But
to go there next, yes.
But check it though, right? Because where the Freaknik really began is like you got to realize a lot of people came from out of town, so all of the hotels were booked.
Yes, they were.
That's where the jumping off went down. Like wasn't nobody keeping it real funky on them streets like don't drink your gin and the juice while in the hood in South Central when they was at the barbecue and homeboy had homegirl up.
He was holding it up and they were getting it in.
It wasn't going down like
At the
that.
party.
But in the hotel afterwards, possibly because remember there was all the hotels were booked out, and you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm just saying. So it was wild on the street getting back and forth to the hotels and the events and all of that. But after the parties and all that good ish, it was yeah.
Shout out to
Like
Bandana
your
Travels.
mamas and daddies and them was out there, y'all. If you was any old, facts.
I like
Second
what
in.
you said about they didn't
Okay.
talk about what did you say it was?
Let's talk about it because they're not even done yet. Go ahead. Let's talk about it ourselves then. Go ahead, T-Roney.
That other party? Did she freeze? No, she
Get
didn't.
me? What did I say? It was the
Yeah.
other one? Girls Gone Wild?
Yeah, Girls Gone Wild. That came up as a topic as well. As much as they was getting on Freaknik and everything, everybody was like, y'all worried about Freaknik. How come nobody's talking about Girls Gone Wild in Woodstock? Now, in all fairness,
In Woodstock, yeah.
they've already done documentaries on
What
those
is the
already.
time, damn it? Like y'all jumping
They've
around.
already done
What is the time?
documentaries on those already. This
Mhm.
one hasn't been done yet, in all fairness.
True.
They talked about girls going wild bad. They talked about Woodstock. So a lot of people want to sit back and talk about this how black folks
That's
did
true.
that. You need to look at how some of them white folks acted in the 60s. In Woodstock, they did not care. And they were definitely high and showed they was high doing it. We were just acting up.
It wasn't a racial thing at all. It wasn't about racial. It's just about party. It's just about people like the party. God damn it! Like people don't want to just be fucking oppressed and
like, and you do want to party. Like you want to get away. Like if you're in college, right? Like that's you want to release some stress. You want to get a drink on. You know what I'm saying? You want to get a smoke on, and you can do it. And not, I guess, like if you couldn't. The whole thing was if you couldn't afford to go travel, like you couldn't afford to go overseas, or you couldn't afford to do something elaborate for your spring break, you did something like this because you could stay at a hotel. Right. You could stay at the hotel, you could just chill out and still still have fun and feel like you went somewhere, you did something. So you go here.
You did go somewhere and you did do something. You definitely felt like you did something, damn it. Because remember, that's because remember, it used to be like this, like from example, it used to be like, yo, you get a room with two, what's the name, beds with two people beds, and it'd be 4 y'all in one room. You know what I'm saying? And then you rotate. Whoever get lucky first get the room for a set period of time, and then wash, rinse, repeat with no washing, rinsing, but a lot of you can't get room service at night. You know, they don't do the laundry. And actually, to kind of think about it, they didn't really change the linen all weekend because the place was packed, and I just whatever. That's a whole nother story. But
so, how many of you guys have actually gone to FREAKNIK?
I was there before.
I've been
possibly in another life. I may have been there in 1995 in another life.
I went 96. I was there.
Good
the
save.
Life formerly known as Smoke.
Hey, squirrels.
Someone else. Back then, I mean, assuming a different identity. But I've been
T-Rona, you didn't go?
I've been in the building.
Girl, hell no. My mom would beat the hell out of me. She see something like, you think, what? Where am I going?
Thank you.
Where?
Thank you.
My mother would
mom
be
and my daddy
with a
both.
switch.
It wasn't for everybody.
Definitely not this one. Not my family.
Man, any ladies out there?
I mean,
that's just before. Let's get some live FREAKNIK chicks on here.
Yeah,
but I will say,
I was there. There was no issue, but I had homeboys who was down there. They was telling me some. I got homeboys. I got some people that was at Piedmont Park. See, the crazy part was when you went to Piedmont Park, you couldn't get out. I wouldn't go down there because I wasn't trying to be stuck for days because you would not be able to get out.
So for 2000.
I'm just gonna roll the footage while we talking.
Yeah, you could. On one of my homeboys, he put a picture up when he was at Piedmont Park in '94. It literally looked. For those of us from New York, imagine Bear Mountain fully crowded. How you getting out?
Okay.
How you getting out of there?
Yeah, you can't, right? Like because you have it's one way in, one way out. Like
yes, and honestly, Piedmont Park was
that's
really
right. This is what it turns into.
Yeah, that's exactly what it turns
traffic
into.
jam. Like, okay, crack out the bottles. Let's go. We ain't moving. Let's rock.
You can't get nowhere. You can't drive nowhere. You can't find a bathroom.
Time out, Tony D. Time out for 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry to interrupt y'all. Let's look at the fashion right now. Let's throw this back to the 90s.
I know I was looking at that too. This is 90s.
Check it out. Before
Blousey
the super skin tight shit
biker
popping,
shorts.
right? Listen, the booty was covered. Check it out. The booty was covered, right? Biker shorts existed, but the booty was covered until it was exposed in some instances, right? The upper garment was a little baggy still, right? There was still a little something to the imagination. Like you see a lot of them have the FREAKNIK shirts. Obviously, they bought them from the vendors. Support black business. You know what I'm saying?
The heels.
But the shorts weren't super skin tight. You had a few of them, like was crazy. Like her right there, she may have been a scripper. She's a regular chick. Remember, everything wasn't skin tight back then. Not yet.
Right.
So if this was happening right now, it'd just be all halter tops, tube tops, titties, ass cheeks.
Cut up t-shirts.
Totally. Right now, it would be totally insane. You see how she got the long, like you see how this is not even totally.
She has like
this is form fitting to an extent, but it's not totally. You see this one bouncing?
Yeah.
Like she was a little
It's like a
advanced. So
lace.
this bitch was from a strip club or something. This bitch was a real stripper, probably. But see this little
When you
skinny
get a
chick that's
chance-
pulling her shit off. She
And
was
spreading.
just a regular ass chick, like fuck it. Now she spread like an eagle. She was just hot. That liquor go right to the clit, y'all.
Why is it for us?
Look at her
Stop
right here.
pausing it
She
at
on her
this
ass.
part.
She done raised up her whole shirt and every goddamn thing. Look at her. This one she all spread it out. Look at her. Jesus, beautiful smile too.
dressed up
That's
like
somebody
In
white.
Vogue. When you get a chance, bro, I got a picture in the background you can show real quick. That'll show you what Piedmont Park was like in '94.
Hold on. Where's the picture of that? Goddamn it. Drop it on
And
the
I
link.
realized my
Hold
audio
on.
was messing up. I apologize. I'm going to mute my mic in a second.
Don't
But
worry
that's
about
what
it. Don't worry
people.
about it. Let's see what
That was it? Oh my, this is Freaknik?
1994.
That was Freaknik '94.
This is
That's the
Freaknik.
picture.
Right,
That
what
was
we
at
looking
the
at?
park
I never
in
went to the park
94.
either. I never
Yeah,
went to the
that's
park.
Uh,
you
We
wasn't getting
stayed
out of that
stayed
shit.
in the hotel.
You was not getting out of that. That's what it looked like. And I seen plenty of pictures looking like this before. The only thing I don't see in this one is the cars and the Winnebagos that was in there.
Mhm.
So you know, if you had a Winnebago, it was a wrap.
We
That's
never made it
insane.
to the
Look at
park
all those
either.
people.
We just hung out in the city. We was in the mall. We was in the Lennox Underground, shit like that. We just hung out around the
I was
city.
at Lennox Mall. Yes, I was at
I
Lennox
didn't
Mall.
go into this shit right here. This looks like fucking Woodstock
Mm-hmm.
full of niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, did I use that word? I'm sorry. That was,
That looks insane.
That is
Ooh.
insane.
hold on.
And
let me
like I
But
said,
that looks like
pull it back
that
up
looks
while
like a
we talking about it.
safer
Let's go back.
time than to be on the outskirts of it. Because I'm sure
Oh
within the
man, put it
outskirts,
down.
that's when
Where
the
did it go?
activities will happen. But if you're in the
Put
middle
it
of
back,
that,
Jimmy D. Put it back. Put it back up one more time. I'm
all
sorry.
right, hold on.
I'm
it
sorry,
seems like if
Rudy.
you were in the middle of that, you would actually be enjoying the music or whatever it is. But yeah, there's no stage, right? Was there a stage? What was Freaknik? Can somebody explain to me? Was it just cars pulling
It's
up
just like
and
Greek.
people playing
It's just
music?
like Greek picnic. It's just like Jones Beach Greek Fest, but they just named it something
Oh
different. They
gosh,
just
yes,
put
the Greek
a
fest.
different name on it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
gotta
But
be you just gotta
it
be
wasn't
what's
about
the name?
rap.
Charlie B said shit. That shit looked like the Million Man March.
Yeah.
Facts. I was there too. 95. 95 was a good year for me, man. I made a
While
lot
he
of
doing
money
shit,
down the East
this
Coast.
was the year
Got
The
before.
old you. The old you.
This is the year before the
Me,
Million
I'm
Man
50.
March. This was so
I'm
much about
50.
the
I'm an
fraternity
OG, nigga.
society. This was about the college kids and people just hanging out. This was for
Mhm.
everybody. The city was Atlanta was bananas. This was before the Olympics, because the Olympics was in '96, and I went the year of the Olympics. It was
Yeah.
Atlanta was crazy before the Olympics. There was so much shit going on in Atlanta. It's about as busy as DC could be. Imagine this happening in DC. They lose their damn minds.
No, it would be uncontrolled.
They would lose their damn minds. Seriously. But it really was just a party. It was about everybody hanging out, chilling out, and being who they want to be, and no drama. And everybody I know had a good time. I've never heard of anybody who went through anything negative, in all honesty. A Geo Tracker, I'll just be damned.
Remember the Geo
Oh my
Tracker?
God.
The Suzuki side chick,
$7 to fill that bad boy up, and you
Ride.
drive all up and down the East Coast.
Remember them chicks?
Yes.
Oh man,
Why are
this
you
was
zooming
back
up
in
on
the
this guy?
fucking days.
I like the outfits.
Yeah,
were
the
chilling.
clothes. I like the styles better. Like, I'm an old head,
Yeah.
so it was a little different. I mean, you can still be like, damn, shorty thick, but she ain't got I can't count the
Everything
hairs on her
peeling out.
front.
She got a
Yeah,
freak.
like you know what I'm saying? It was still like we could see you, mom. Like,
Oh, child, look
it's
at
your
that.
face.
Back that thing up.
As you can see, the footage is loose, but while we just chopping it up, we just gonna let it spin. You know what I mean? Just fair use. Let me fair use it once again. But yeah, man, this shit was crazy. It was definitely crazy.
It was fun though.
Wait,
I'm not
hold
gonna
We
lie.
lost
It was-
Kimmy Kelly.
Yeah,
Okay.
before y'all crack on people, man, it was fun. And everybody out there who's worried about it, we had a good time.
I'm just saying it was.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Nigga, mama. Mhm.
Why should I feel like they shouldn't be ashamed. Don't be
What's this?
ashamed. Own it. Because it happened, right?
What's your background, bro?
Okay, now on this background right here, this is the next part of the story. I don't know if we want to go into that because that wasn't really
No.
part of the headline, but this story continues. It says Generation Z women are identifying as bisexual in unprecedented numbers, but are they just following a trend? We can get to that another time.
That's an
Yeah, that's a
interesting
different.
topic.
That's
I
totally
can't
different.
Totally
Yeah, I
different
can't answer that. That's
concept.
an interesting topic, though. That's an interesting aspect.
But it was definitely because I did actually engage and watch this entire stream, and it was very, very interesting to say the least. Kimmy Kali had to take a phone call. She'll be back up in a minute.
Oh yes,
I
yeah.
just got the message from her, so let me take this down for a second. That's a whole nother stream, so we'll talk about that another time.
Sure.
But
And Ace,
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not even sure how to answer that. I don't know if it's a trend. I do see it happening a lot. Do I consider it to be a trend? I don't know, but it is happening. They are identifying as bisexual more than just heterosexual these days. That's true.
when you look at the numbers, and I don't want to leak too much into that conversation because, like I said, we can have that another time. But
Sure.
pretty much, in the Gen Z, the numbers are staggering, like 19% opposed to millennial and Gen X. Like 3%, 8%. Then you got 19%, like 3%, 2%, 19%, something like that. So it's weird. I won't say weird, but it is. Times are changing, and you are who you are because I identify as the 30-year-old rich white guy. So put some respect on my shit. You know what I'm
Did you see the comedian? He said
Respect
algebra
me.
was too woke.
Really?
He said algebra was too woke because letters identify as numbers.
Mm.
Yeah,
Did you
wow.
see that one? It was on the Daily Show. It's like going around on social media.
I love it. I love it. I get the concept of it though. Yeah, that's this kind of, it's different. You know what I'm saying? But that's who I identify
That's
as.
a
So
good conversation to have because as a female, I can put a spin on that.
well, go ahead. We can talk about it.
No,
We
we
kind of
can talk
covered our
about
main
it.
topic. We freestyling now. Or should we talk about, or should we be looking for our aunties in them on? Well, I wouldn't be looking for my auntie in them because I was there. So I'd be looking for like shorties that my niggas is married to, shit like that. Like
Let's
yeah,
leak
back
and
it up
see.
pretty hard on
Do
that
you know?
car back in '95, nigga. Bad
Well,
selection.
now people are just going to be watching the documentary to see if they remember or see one of their girls or somebody
That's
like that.
why
You're not watching the video for it's a documentary. It's not really so much about the girls, right?
exactly. It's a documentary because people are looking only at it to identify folks. That's what's gonna be crazy. It's not it's not even a documentary. It's an FBI file. Yeah, on public. The feds are gonna be taping.
Right?
Every nigga in the hood gonna be taping like, yo, I'm looking for wifey on that shit. Fuck that shit.
As long as they're not doing nothing illegal, right? So
I'm just saying, just starting it up. It's all good. So like like Jason Black said, salute to that brother. That is his channel is lit. He's on YouTube. Please subscribe to him. Check his joint out. His joint is lit. Basically, she looking for her husband. He looking for her. It's just gonna be people looking for folks on the channel. Why you grinding up on that girl? You was married, like Tony D said earlier. Married dudes
can
out
you
there,
be
everything. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna
can
be
you be
great.
canceled because of this? I mean,
Maybe that's why the millionaire chick was scared, and she was from the beginning. For those that joined us late, in the beginning of the show, there's some rich chick and trying to start some coalition to cancel this airing from Hulu, but Hulu may be a little bigger than her little $1 million bank.
was freedom
You know
of
what I'm
speech.
saying?
That's why.
Bigger lawyers, bigger bank. I think it's yeah. When we talking about network shit, we talking next level lawyers and shit like that. So don't go broke trying to not get exposed for being a 304 on your little spring break and shit. You know what I'm saying? So good. We was all young. You know what I mean? I know folks that ended up in the penitentiary making mistakes when they were younger. It don't take away from who they are. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, if I was married and I saw you popping that coochie on the Hulu Freaknik, I may think twice. I may be looking at you different in the morning.
Why you couldn't do those things like you in the bedroom because you
You
married
could've.
now and look at you 30 years ago, right? And you
Yeah.
all over the Jeep doing joints.
Doing backflips on the truck.
You can do tricks. Don't tell me you can't do it. You can do tricks. I see you do it. You lie all these years. I mean, you can't.
trying to give me marriage missionary, and I see you.
I'm trying to be nice about it. You're right. That's exactly what I mean.
I'm a good girl. Good schools, Catholic
That's-
schools. Like, the fuck you talking about?
That's what you talking about.
Oh man, this is crazy. Like, I don't know.
Well, you know, like you said, FBI issue too, because you know there's a lot of drug deals that went down, gun deals that went down. You know, so hopefully they won't show none of that either.
There's a lot of niggas in Congress right now that was out there popping that coochie,
yeah,
grinding on broads. There's a lot of niggas on the police. There's a lot of high-ranking officials that was out there. That's
a lot of power, ghosts from power.
Everybody.
He's in a suit and tie now, but back in the days, he used to be in the streets. So,
yeah, man. You know, everybody done come from them streets. And one thing you to the other. Shit, I may be on that motherfucker, but good thing y'all niggas don't know what I look like, motherfuckers.
This is true.
I ain't canceling, nigga, but I was definitely there.
Yes. So wait. So when y'all was there,
trying to blow my spot up either. Go ahead.
Wait. So when y'all was there, or allegedly, when y'all was allegedly there, right?
there, another life. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how bad did it get? With I mean, like. It started in the 80s. So in the 80s, it was more collegey kind of fun. By the time you guys got there, was it strippery kind of fun? By that time, did the strippers really start to come out in the droves? Because I know by the time that they ended it was all strippers. It was like 90% strippers and like 10% college girls.
Well, I would think this. I would think that when I was there, since I did see a lot of foddery, I'm thinking that the percentage, like some of these girls that are comfortable, that you saw clearly in the video about with, you know, being touched by strangers and all that other stuff. Some of them clearly may have been dancers, adult dancers. You know what I'm saying? Some of them may have been in the sex worker trade or whatever you want to call it. In today's new liberal Webster dictionary. We covered that episode about a year and a half ago. Okay.
We do that part too. I told you that.
Let's like, share, subscribe. You know what? Kind of think of it, we're coming up on 1 hour. So let's pause for station identification. Let's see.
I don't know what happened, but look, that's on me. Smoke Sunday Night Smoke podcast. Go check my boy out. You know what I mean? For sure.
So have he said some things that are, you know, borderline crappy or whatever, and then he backs it up with his opinion radio? Yeah, he's done that.
Okay. Just letting y'all niggas know who we are. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, so like back in those days, like, you know, I did see like maybe there was a small percentage of them were dancers, because, you know, like I said, you have to be comfortable in an environment to be, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, so I guess if you're in a strip club and guys are touching you and putting money in your clothes and stuff, so some of the females were clearly comfortable with that. Some of them were just regular chicks, like, wow, this is what it means to be a stripper. I changed my mind. You know, some of them had a good experience. Some of them had a, you know, maybe questionable experience. Who knows? You know what I mean? You know, the experience, leave it up to the user, I would assume. You know, but I would definitely.
Did you guys have a good time?
You got that right. What does the video footage tell you? Had a great time. Charlie B says them hoes and pros was in them streets by 95.
Allegedly.
We're gonna keep everything allegedly because we can't really.
Exactly, fair use. That's a good one.
Allegedly. But I was saying they was on them streets back in those days, because I can't even lie, they was throwing numbers around, and I was just like, really? Like, they got prostitutes out here? Like, this is just supposed to be regular bitches. Like, regular
no, it was like the business girls were out there, strong.
Bitches, everybody. And remember, the term nigger and bitch is a term of endearment, so please don't be offended out there listening. And if you're offended, turn the channel, motherfucker. But anyway, so I'm just saying it was a little bit of pros mixed in with the regular joints. You know what I'm saying? It was like I say, a very small percentage because these were the early stages that led the groundwork to today's stottery. Okay, and
Right.
these are the mamas and the grandmamas and the aunties and them of today's modern hoes. Okay, also of today's modern little thug niggas and street criminals and these little bird chest bastards with pistols. These are their mamas in them. I'm gonna keep it a band. You know what I mean? Because for the most part, you see, but then the small percentage of them have become millionaires and congresswomen, and they're trying to fight the
Judges.
release of this goddamn thing. Okay.
Well,
So
you can't fight.
a small percent made it. The rest of them fell through the cracks. So a small amount made it, and they're like, "Fuck this, man. We ain't gonna air this." The ones that fell through the cracks are like, "Fuck, man, you're taking away my last shot at fame."
That's
So
true.
get discovered. Hey, ain't that Freddie from 4th grade?
That's true.
I seen you
'Cause
out
like
there
you said,
grinding on some chicks in the middle of the street. Let me give you
they
a
be
job.
wanting video camera, right? They wanted to be on screen.
Now.
They did. They wanted to be recorded. That's true. People didn't care whether it was on camera or not back then. Now, as far as when it happened in the 80s, I didn't hear about it till the 90s myself. I didn't know about it in the 80s. I'll be honest.
I was too young back then. When
Yeah,
I
I
became
didn't know
of
about it.
age, that's when I heard of this shit. That's when I pulled up. I'm gonna keep it a
And I was in Virginia. I would have been able to afford to go down there on my own. When I was in Alabama, I got lucky and was able to go to Atlanta a couple times, and I did go. And I've hung out in Atlanta. Atlanta's cool. Atlanta's fun. Yeah, there's crime, just like New York.
Everywhere's
But
crime.
you can have a good time in Atlanta. People are looking to party hard.
Right.
Especially
That's
for
what
that
it was.
event.
That's what it was back then from what I saw. I didn't know
Ooh,
I
I'd
could
like
share
to
this
hear
on
this.
YouTube. Word.
I'd like to hear this conversation from like, oh, grandma, ain't that you on this? I'd like to hear the conversation that goes down when they have to explain to the grandbabies that, yeah, that was me.
Baby, I was just
That's
having a good
gonna be
time. It was acting very unsanctified and unholy. All of that. They're going to act like they were they don't want to talk about it. They were just being themselves. They was young. They was wild. And that's in the past. That's what they're going to tell you.
That's true. I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, you can't fight it. It's already out there, right? Like,
you can't fight it. I'm just put it like this, right? For example, I can say that and this is no cap, of course, this is after the fact, but this is no cap that somebody that I do know had actually said his daughter had asked him about it. Said, "Hey dad, how old were you in Freaknik?" Because remember, this is like a hot topic. You understand what I'm saying? It's like a hot topic.
right now, especially. Yes, it
How
is.
old? Because this is trending right now. How old were you when the Freaknik happened? This was somebody I was actually there with. He was like, "What? I don't know what the hell you're talking about."
Good answer.
What are you talking about?
He ain't caught on camera, so he
This
can.
was the nigga that went there the year before, came back with the video footage and was like, "Yo, next year we bringing the whole hood with us."
I don't know what you talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Somebody comes back to the hood with a video like this. Are you serious? What do you think is gonna happen? Yo, let's book our hotel, make our reservations right now.
Right.
Come back to the hood with a video like this, like, yo, son, come in the crib. Because back then it was VHS. This was a VHS. This was not a DVD,
No,
HD,
MP3 streaming service kind of thing. Yeah, I had to
This
sit
was
down and watch it.
straight old school. What we call the shit back in the day is camcorder. Okay?
Yeah, those are camcorders. Yeah.
This was the camcorder, nigga. Little Slim,
This girl doing
busting
too
it
much.
loose, busting it loose. That's somebody grandma right now. Look at her looking like a Snoop Dogg transvestite. This is a transgender right there. See the brown skin chick. I'm like, this looks like Snoop. when he was a kid. Look at her spread out. Look at that beautiful smile. Good Lord.
Charlie Beast outside said, "Baby, that was before the Lord changed
The
my
Lord
life."
changed my life. Yes.
Kelly Lee, you can pull up too. That shit is real. Man. Bitch.
That's right. It's
He's
like, okay, how'd you explain this?
I was lost back then. Look at the bounce, bounce, baby, bounce, baby, bounce, baby, baby,
I bounce
baby.
for Jesus now. You start bouncing up and down.
You know what I'm saying? Busting it open. That was the little Kim Pussy poster pose from the reverse mode. She just taking pictures of everybody. This was crazy. Oh man. Sorry if I'm exposing anybody's mama in them. I'm gonna put a not for millennials. I mean, not for zennials disclaimer before this show rolls because I don't want to be the nigga responsible. Yo, this nigga Smoke got my man moms on the internet.
And played it the whole time.
You disrespectful, son. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be nothing crazy like that, but
See this right here, that right here, what he doing? No, we can't. You can. I feel like if you could dance, you could pop your booty out, let him get a feel or whatever. But all that digging up, no, we're not doing that.
Bro, I'm just saying, but this is not made for regular girls. This is made for
That's
the
true.
adults.
I'm sorry.
Women. It's made for them.
Yeah.
But if you try to step into that realm, right,
Mhm.
you gotta be ready to, you know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh shit, that's what they go through. You smell me? You know,
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
like you
See,
gotta
Charlie, you good, bro.
Look at this. What is that?
like, yeah, you good player, you good player. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to step into that realm and do what they do, then you're gonna be subjected to the treatment that they get. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get outside and you start doing this, and you at one dude jump on, then the next dude is ready. Then next thing you know, it's a line like 50 dudes online. Like, yo, I got next. Yo, homie, stop being greedy. Niggas is elbowing each other. You clogging the lanes, son.
So that was, you know what you just said? That he was saying that your money doesn't make you important. You were more worried about what a man thinks about you, right? Didn't he say that?
He did, and he was going somewhere with that. I think it's going to be a separate conversation, even though I like to cover it because I know what he was saying.
That's a separate conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, like your money doesn't, like if you was out here doing this, basically and remember his opinions are not necessarily our opinions, but he's like, listen, if you were doing this, right, you're not necessarily, you were kind of thotting it up right now. This is the equivalent of showing your titties and ass on Instagram right now. Pretty much is what he's saying, compared from 1995 to 2023, 30 years ago. This is the version of thotting it up, right? So if you're thotting it up, you're not necessarily looked at as a woman of value as far as to most men that are conservative, that are high earners, right? Because if you're a high earning conservative man, you don't want to be walking around with the girl from the hood that everybody ran through. You know what I mean? So you want to try to not get a low quality woman. So what you'll see is like, this is looked down upon by a certain sector of men, not by all men, but it's looked down upon. So they don't, to an extent, like he said, they thought you got away with it. God damn it, but you didn't.
Well, no, I was talking about the part where he was saying, like, these ladies are trying to get the Hulu documentary taken away, and he mentioned, see, and now you making all that money because these women are $1 million or whatever, and you, I guess, I like what I
your
the
value
part I
doesn't
didn't
matter.
understand. He was saying that
Because you can be still all right. What he's saying is you can become a millionaire. You see this little skinny chick right here that just keeps that spread.
Let's just say use her
all
example.
open and all that
I don't know
shit.
who she is. God bless to her.
She could be a millionaire, right? For men, she's looked at as trash because you're quote unquote. So you could be a millionaire or you could be broke, but you're still looked at as the same, like raunchy, sleazy ass. She belongs to the streets. Type of look.
No matter how much money you make, right?
You could be a millionaire,
Right?
but you still
Ah,
trash.
the
She's
Like,
candy
like,
for
sweet as
example,
gold.
like,
Let
for
me
example,
see that
see
Tootsie
it, Tootsie
Roll.
Roll.
Tootsie
Roll.
Roll.
Just
Tootsie
roll just
Roll.
sometime.
Get it on the
Just
floor.
like Kevin Smith, get a quick view with that, all that juice. To the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. So this is what laid the groundwork to
Well,
today's
well, I don't know if
lottery.
you
So
guys
we went from that to this
know.
now because they were doing the same thing, but they just were covered, and they had a lot less jelly and juice, but it was the same thing.
So,
Less riding, like less dudes riding that ass. But I
so
guess
Ace World, did you see? I don't know if you
that's
saw
their mama
my.
in them. Talk to me. What we
I
got?
don't know if you saw my email, but
I
in the
did
email I
not. I'm
also talk
sorry.
about it's
Mhm.
okay because I did talk about this, right? But I also talked about pasa
Mhm.
pasa. I don't know if you. I mean, well, I know Ace World, you know what pasa
That
pasa is.
Jamaican
Tony D, I
Street
don't.
Festival. Of course.
Yes.
Let's talk about
So
it.
pasa. Do you? Okay, so
Jamaican
you
Street
have pasa
Festival.
pasa, which is
Mhm.
similar to Freaknik, right?
This.
But it's just it's not even like a once annual thing, right? It's just a party
No,
and like
every
it's
other
just
fucking weekend. I'm sorry. I'm
right?
sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's literally like how you say Tony D, the cars get together and everybody has a party and they're all in the street and they doing their thing, right? It is very similar to this where everybody bati riding on everybody else and the girls who
Mhm.
go hardest get all the guys more coming up on them much more. So and
Mhm.
it's like they don't really do pasta pasta like that anymore. Like now when you see it, it's like mostly white girls and stuff. It's really
Break out the
weird.
old DVDs
So
on their ass. Mhm.
yeah. But if you, like you said, if you broke out the old DVDs on Pasta Pasta and you see these girls in the street doing the same things, like getting down or low, getting body rided on by these guys or multiple guys. So, we all used to go to the club and get a little booty dancing, that kind of thing. But no, these girls used to go very hard on these things. And you better believe if they do a documentary on that, some girls are gonna be in trouble too.
Shit, you just gave me the secret sauce. That's about the documentary. Too late. By the time this airs, even though it's live, by the time this airs, and by the time you fuckers listen to it tomorrow, I would have already copywritten the Pasta Pasta documentary. Thank you.
Yeah, do that Pasta
Thank you very
Pasta.
much, Ronnie.
You're welcome.
Good
Because
to
if y'all
surround
really
yourself
want to
with
get shook,
individuals
y'all
that
want
are
to see them Mardi
intelligent.
Gras
You don't
videos out
make
there with
money.
all y'all's parents in them streets.
God damn it. So if you see your mama on
Which
here, don't blame Smoke. Okay.
or the Mardi Gras videos, right? Like yep, that's true. The old Mardi Gras videos.
Mardi Gras,
Yep.
Yeah, they
man, listen,
quoted that.
you
That
ain't
was crazy.
seen a party till you've been to Mardi. I heard Carnival was better. I heard the Mardi Gras Mobile was better. I went to New Orleans twice. New Orleans is off the man. Shh. Don't get worried yet. A bunch of y'all will be shook if half of them videos and old clip pictures came out from back in the day.
Well, I think you know what I think. You know what I think right now? I think this is going to be the beginning of the opening of the can of worms.
It is. Yes,
Because,
it is.
trust me,
It's
once
terrible.
this went down, and once T-Roni just gave me the green light to do the Pasa Pasa documentary, okay, which will be copywritten by the time you late motherfuckers catch the replay of this, okay? Because I got my legal team on it. Once we click off the live. Wait, don't try to, hold on. Let me make that call right now before they try to fuck me up. Hold on. Slick ass nigga try to be, well, you're live. I'm gonna beat you to it. Psych.
No, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Hold on, let me make this call real quick.
Blame your mama. That's right. You know what? And I will say the good thing that came out of this, which is not a good thing, but as far as Freaknik, though that guy who started Girls Gone Wild, he owed these people so much money because he stole the idea from Freaknik and profited in such a disgusting manner.
I think they broke his ass, didn't they?
Yes, they
I don't
did.
know, but he was rich before it began, but he may be broke now.
They destroyed him. He owed everybody money.
Is he in jail?
He put that shit out there without their permission.
He did do a jail bid. I think he did a short time or they was trying to put him in jail or some crazy shit like that. Maybe he did do a short period.
And he wound up being on Surreal Life with Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav got on his ass. because he was an asshole.
Bullshit.
He stole our idea for sure. That's we. You know how people we making everybody take it. Sorry to say it like that, but
Culture
this girl, she's look at her. She's in a church outfit, doing her Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll.
They wore whatever down there. They wore
Tootsie Roll. That lollipop. Ooh, nails
Oh,
on
look at
it.
They look cute.
They were down there looking for all that attention, T-Ron. I'm gonna tell you right now. They was all down there trying to see who's gonna give them some attention.
That's all it is.
Okay,
That was the one time a lot of women was down there playing hard to get and acting like they were the shit. And they were pretty much justified because they know all the dudes down there looking for them. They knew it.
That's your way to just get some love. Right?
Yes.
Like
half of the ass got smashed.
This was very high tech, high volume, top of the line attention seeking. They was all out there. Yes, they were.
And
we were giving it to them.
And a lot of dudes, that was nice. I like Shorty right there with that little. I used to like that little shortcut to the side back in the days. That shit was kind of nice.
She got
like that little shortcut. Like that used to be the Holly Berry shit. Like I remember Holly Berry.
Oh, that one.
Back in the early 90s. Halle Berry made that shortcut kind of pop.
Oh God! Now we back to this girl
throwing that shit. Speaking, she's just. I've seen her like 80 times on this loop footage, throwing that ass back hard. Not even like she got a fatty. It's like a friction.
Sticking legs
on
her
harder, you see sparks because that shit is skin and bone.
I'm thinking the same thing. I was like, yo, she doing too much. She doing way too much.
That shit
I'm
back
sorry.
hard.
I know the guy should be talking. She might be, that would be so funny too. You see these girls, right? Like they all doing it, and now they got Walker, so they all got knee arthritis.
Whatever happened
to gay?
Whatever happened to the Luke Skywalker Doodoo Brown dancers? Them bitches is somebody's grandma.
Yep. See,
the bitches on the old Luke videos. Jesus, that's your mama ain't dumb.
Yeah, we got to do, and you brought up a good one. So we got this, we got Freaknik, we got the Greek Fest, we got Mardi Gras, Pasa. Yeah.
You know what else you forgot? You forgot Black College Weekend. You forgot Black Bike Week.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and these were a couple of things that were alluded to in this video that I was watching. This same video right here, he did call out all of the major events where thottery does take place and had taken place historically over the last 30 years plus. But yeah, facts. He said, "Oh yeah." Hopping that Gucci,
I think I saw Rihanna. I know I saw clips where they had Kanye down there. They had one clip where they swore Yolanda Adams was down there back in the day, y'all. And Kanye,
Yolanda Adams?
Yeah, they said they got a picture. They said this is Yolanda Adams. I forgot who the other two were. I was like, yeah, they're going hard. They're gonna get a bunch of these cats. They're gonna get a bunch of
them. Doing like backing that thing up, like boom, boom,
back
boom.
At Freaknik.
Yolanda Adams at Freaknik? Yeah.
Anybody hit me up on the back end? My homeboy has a tape from 1988 when we was in Virginia Beach.
Yo, tell me you wasn't down there.
He knows Jada Pinkett personally.
Tell me you wasn't down there. 88.
Yes. Where do you get that video with her? Well, I don't know if he released it with her dancing at McDonald's and all of that shit. Well, he has the entire video. That's the only part that made. I don't know. I don't think he released it publicly because like my boy got video with her. Drunk, passed out in the room, all kind of crazy shit. That's a whole other story.
I was down there every weekend. I
probably actually make some money off of that shit now. I'm thinking now that we
please don't do that.
Don't do that shit. Y'all leave Jay alone. You saw what they did to Will. Leave him alone.
Nah, I would do that strictly on the strength of how she violated my man. That's the only reason why I would do it. Put some respect on
you hate her that much, man. Like yo, you disrespecting him. I'm doing this for the brotherhood.
Yeah, so and her mama was probably at Woodstock popping her coochie. Started this thottery. Had her in Virginia
notorious for being on the beach on the weekends.
Running man outside of McDonald's looking crazy. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was down there every weekend in the 80s, man. Please tell me I ain't seen you down there back in the day.
Probably did. Probably did. I mean, you know, I traveled. Before I started the international. I did all. I burnt that whole East Coast the fuck down 10 times over. I said, shit, I'm too big for this now. We need to take our show overseas. By 96, we took our shit overseas. Like 95 was the last year of the East Coast tour circuit, party circuit, as far as Freaknik and all of that shit. We expanded a long time ago, but you know what it do. You know, we still making spot appearances here and there in between, but for the most part, you know what I mean? Started carrying that shit overseas. Started the Passport Gang before the shit was even started. You know what I mean? And that was just for local niggas, not for expats. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story. Right. But yeah, man, that's what it do. So in closing, THOTPOCALYPSE now. How Freaknik made today's 304s. What we got in closing on this shit right here? What's good?
First lady first.
Congratulations to all those girls who's gonna be in those videos, because you got a lot of explaining to do. And you gonna be a rapper by the time you come out there. What happened was, and I tell you this, and I'm gonna tell you that. They can come out with some stories. So congratulations, girls. I can't wait to see the documentary. Hope you in it.
Good luck until you make the final cut, ladies.
Yeah.
Jesus. I'm gonna throw your what's the name on there. You got anything upcoming in the near future? I'm gonna throw you.
Oh, thank you.
What you got? What you got on the bubble coming up in the future? Talk to me.
Not next Saturday. I have something. If you in DC, May the 6th, I have an event at the Woolly Mammoth. I don't have the full details for it, but I will let you guys know. And on May the 6th, also, Chocolate Covered Rocky Horror will be at the Laurel Hill Cemetery in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So get your tickets. Come to my Instagram, T-Roni Trinkets, and you'll see the information for the tickets.
Okay, there you go. I got the information posted right there. For further information on those events, go to Instagram, T-Roni Trinkets. Check it out. Tony D, what you got for me, big brother? Let me throw your link up here.
All y'all who was down there, go ahead and get your story straight. That's all I got to tell you. Bad part is, these videos, y'all already know, ain't half as bad as the pictures a bunch of us got in the videos a bunch of us didn't put out there. So appreciate the link tree at the bottom. Y'all see it. Y'all can find me everywhere. Definitely look for me at the Random Multi Broadcast. I do my music video broadcast. That's me being myself. Just got off of the messages. Smoke.
Charlie B.
They looking at doing the he said I was hitting y'all's grannies.
He's stupid.
Yo, I was like, me too.
I ain't gonna follow the ladies. If I got with you, listen. All the ladies out there, if I got with you, I didn't put you out there. I'm gonna just let you know. Don't blame me.
Oh,
you know,
that's nice.
I keep a secret. And the reason why I kept a secret back in the day is so you come back.
Definitely. You gotta know how to keep a secret.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't put you out there.
Yeah, you start talking about it.
You know I'm gonna be up here with my Ace World Sunday Night Smoke Podcast and with T-Roni Robinson. We're gonna stop forgetting T-Roni Robinson as being the first lady of the Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. Damn it, she wants some respect on her name.
Yeah,
she wants some respect on her.
You act like y'all know me.
Want y'all check out everywhere. Like she don't be up in here all the time. What she do? Y'all gonna find me latenightparents.com. My man Ted Hicks. You gonna see me nonsense. My man Glick and Jeff Hawk. Y'all gonna see me doing my own thing. The Random Multi Broadcaster. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. I'm all over the damn place. Bump it. You can find me on Twitch, TONYTON72. You can find me on YouTube, TONYD7444. You can find me on Instagram, TONYTON72. You can also find me on TikTok, TONYTON19723. Before they shut that bad boy down, because they damn sure talking about it. You already came here in the United States and a couple of countries already. So you better get your push. You better put your info out, spread as much as possible before they shut down the world access. You can find me on Twitter, TONYTON163. My music video broadcast on Twitch, they won't replay. On Twitter, you'll get the whole replay with the music. Check me out. I'm also on Mixcloud. You'll see it on the link tree down there. Got it all over there. All my socials. I'm trying to get my Twitch numbers up, my Twitter numbers up, and my YouTube numbers up. Y'all check me out. Let me know what y'all think, man, for real. Appreciate your ace as always, man. Thanks again.
Yes, sir. Tony D, y'all. In closing on this exciting week's broadcast. I can actually say good luck because we got some splaining to do out this motherfucker. A lot of folks out there, and don't waste your money on the lawsuits because their money's a lot longer than y'all. So don't try to stop it. You can't stop the rain. Just let it flow and start using that time to make excuses and save those lawyer retainers to fight your company when they decide to dismiss you for inappropriate behavior and misrepresenting the company as a youth. Okay. Thanks to the groundwork laid in today's current society, you will be held accountable for your previous actions. Thank you, liberal minded individuals. And I don't mean to attach this to a political party, but hey, man, this is the world we live in now. You're going to take that and put that in your pipe and smoke it. We catch you next Sunday. Same bad time, same smoke channel. Sunday Night Smoke, y'all.
Your show is called the Sunday Smoke Podcast. That's how I know you're a little bitch. Because it don't have nothing to do with that. So I'm going to keep using smoke. And my podcast is not called a smoke show. My Tuesday show is called the Sunday Night Smoke Show. That's
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. One love. Tuesday, Sunday. Maybe if we start airing reruns on Tuesday, then we wouldn't confuse the Sundays and the Tuesdays. Who the fuck knows? But let's rock and roll, y'all. Later. One love.